tutaimba wimbo wetu wa taifa katika lugha ya Kiswahili, ubeti ule wa kwanza. Then thereafter tutakuwa na we shall be having the East African anthem also to show our solidarity with the rest of the East African community. So our band, you can help us with the national anthem in Kiswahili.
So, well, I request to be upstanding. So we're going to do the first stanza in Swahili. Mungu nguvu yetu, ilete baraka kwetu, akiwe ngao na mlinzi, na tukae na undugu, amani na uhuru, raha tupate na ustawi. It was supposed to be played from behind there, I guess.
Mungu twaomba uilinde Jumuiya Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We can be seated. At this juncture, I want to invite Gilbert to help us with the opening prayer. Gilbert.
Good morning. I want us to believe and pray even as we begin. Let us believe and pray. Father, in the mighty name of Jesus, we want to thank you for this opportunity and the gift of life, the journey mercies that you've granted each one of us to be here this morning. We don't take it for granted, but we want to praise your name and thank you. And even as we are seated here today, we want to ask for your guidance in each and every activity, event that is going to take place here. That you may guide us according to your way. We thank you even for those that are on their way coming, that you may grant them journey mercies. We thank you and we honor you. And even as we begin, may you begin with us. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Thank you very much.
So, once again, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I want you to look at your neighbor and say, hi, neighbor. And tell them, welcome to this launch. Lovely, lovely. We appreciate, we want to thank all of you for finding time to come and be with us. Today is a great day to us as the Commission. Of course, trying to launch two important documents. Of course, you'll be interacting with the contents of those documents in a short while. We would appreciate at this juncture to have a session, a quick session of knowing me, knowing you. This is one of the responsibility of NCIC is to connect people. We have come from different backgrounds, from different organizations. But of course, it will be good by the time we shall be ending this engagement, at least you have added in your list one or two cases. So this is a chance for us to be able to know each other in terms of the guests and the participants in the room. So probably I would, because I know there's few who will be listening to their voices, but of course it's good to hear at least some of our guests say just jumbo and the respective organizations where they come from, and then I'm sure in the middle of the point we can be able to exchange some cards here and there to know one another and even connect. That's the business of NCAC, connecting people but in a more peaceful and harmonious way. So allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to just move around some few tables so that we can be able to acknowledge who is in the house. Allow me to start with part of some of our guests who have joined us in our engagement today. Naomba wakati huu niende kwa ile meza ya team and the team, the rest of the team, just acknowledge and say hi, so that the rest of the team, the participants who are here, can be able to know who is who in the house. Team and your desk, we will be glad to do. Yes.
Habari zenu. Habari asubuhi. Furahia sana kuwa na nyinyi. Mimi naitwa Tim Bukel na nafanya kazi na GIZ, watu wa Jerumani. Asante. Give it to my colleagues here on my table.
Thank you. Yes, Tim. Karibu sana.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Daniel Juma. I'm the Country Director of Global Peace Foundation Kenya. Nice to meet you, guys.
Thank you, Daniel, and Phil. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Cameron Jones. I'm with U.S. Embassy.
All right. That's wonderful. Phil, welcome.
Hello, Habari Zenu. Good morning, everyone. I'm Daniel Johnson from the British High Commission. Good to see you all.
Welcome, Daniel. Asante sana.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Josh Bird. I'm a Political Affairs Officer, Nations Office in Nairobi.
Welcome, Josh. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Let's just give them one round of applause for that table. Beautiful, beautiful. We are proceeding. Just get to feel who is who in the house in this great moment for the commission. We can be able to move to the next table. Yes. This for the best. Yes, yes, yes.
Good morning, everyone. My name is
Good
Thomas Axel. I'm the Political Counsel at the Danish Embassy. Pleasure to be here.
Oh, lovely. You're most welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Giovanni Barbera, the European Center for Electoral Support.
Thank you, colleagues from ECAS.
Good morning, everyone. Hamza Fasifini from European Center for Electoral Support, proud partner of NCS.
Absolutely. We're glad to have you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Helge Lundberg. I'm the Deputy Ambassador of Sweden to Kenya. I'm very glad to be here.
Beautiful. Phil, welcome. We appreciate your presence.
Good morning. I'm Fidon Monbeju from the All Africa Conference of Churches.
Welcome, Reverend. We really appreciate your presence here. Let's give them one clap. We call it Ria, then we do Ria. Ria. Beautiful. Yes. We are proceeding to know our guests. Please welcome. Yes, yes, yes.
So good morning. My name is Samson Omoni, and I serve at the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights.
Thank you so much, Samson.
Good morning. My name is Paul Luther, a policy analyst with the Kenya Institute for Public Policy Research Analysis, that is KIPRA.
All right, Kipra, you are feel welcome in our interview. Yes, please.
Good morning. My name is Timothy Jona. I work National Security Alcohol and Violence.
Oh, lovely. Nakada, one of our great partners, we appreciate your presence.
Good morning. My name is Francis Makoni from the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission.
Thank you, Madam Makori. The other table. Yes, thank you. Name organization, please, so that we know in the house how diverse we are. Yes.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Fred Ogola from Korogosho.
Thank you so much, Fred.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Peter from IPOA.
Peter from IPOA. Thank you so much, Peter, and feel much welcome in our engagement.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
My
morning.
name is Rebecca Kadagana from IPOA.
Thank you, Rebecca from IPOA. We appreciate your presence.
Good morning. My name is Solomon Sakana from the Communication Authority of Kenya.
All right, Communication Authority, please welcome one of great partners of NCC. Very good. LPI Kenya, Mathare Peace Initiatives, karibu sana.
Good morning. My name is Absalom Shalaha from Cambodian Trust. Thank you.
Pamoja, karibu tuwe pamoja kwa siku ya leo.
Good morning. My name is Abdi Alphonse from Mathare.
Right. Happy, karibu sana.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Vilesh Nabire from Mathare Peace Initiative Kenya.
Thank you so much, our colleagues from Mathare. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the areas we have been working closely so much, our colleagues in Mathare, they have been huge, great partners of NCAC, particularly promoting peaceful coexistence within the informal settlement of different parts of Nairobi. Asante sana. Yes.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Wanda Achieng from AMANI.
Good morning. I'm Martha Mathenge with UNDP Kenya.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Gloria Kamatanga from Political Parties Dispute Tribunal.
Thank you so much, Gloria.
Good morning. My name is Betty Amamo, friend of the Commission from Marsabit.
Thank you so much, welcome. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's the first round of us knowing who is who in the house. So allow me to give it a small break and invite Commissioner Sam Kona to be able, not Sam Kona, sorry, Commissioner Dr. Dan Makori to be able to take us through in the next session. A round of applause to Dr. Dan Makori as he comes to the podium to take us through the next session. Karibu sana, Commissioner.
If I was to go through the protocol, it would take about 7 minutes. There's a lot of dignitaries in this place. Here, good friends, the ambassadors and foreign missions. We have our government representations. So what I'll do is just say a wonderful good morning to all of you. Good morning. Good morning. It's truly awesome privilege to have you in this place. And it's a joy actually to be on this side of halftime. You know, it's World Cup now. If you don't know, maybe you're an over to this side, and it's thought to be here. My name is Dan Makori. For those who don't know me, I'm a commissioner at NCIC. Just scanning around the room, and you've had introductions from other government agencies, our partners, both international and local, those who work closely in the field. We've tried our best to make sure there is ample representation. I have a friend of mine, I won't mention his name, because he likes waking up early, therefore he sleeps early. So when we are hanging out and just chilling, having a drink or two in the evening. At about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, he starts dozing off. And that's when some of us are waking up. The day has just begun around 8 p.m. He dozes off. So it so happens that in our country, in most places, especially in December, people start dozing off, they clock off work, time of sherehe, as we call it in Kenya City, watu wa sherehe. So it's good to see people still working, even in December, so it's good to have you here. I want to take this time actually to welcome my good friend and colleague, Commissioner Sam Kona, to give us the opening remarks. Commissioner, please welcome. Give him a round of applause as he comes to open for us the opening remarks. Welcome.
Thank you, Commissioner Makori, our MC for this important event. I'll be doing the opening remarks on behalf of our Vice Chair. I just want to join my colleague, Commissioner Makori, in acknowledging all of you as one in terms of protocol, that we are honored to have all of you come for this important event, not just for the National Cohesion and Integration Commission, but for the the entire Republic of Kenya, because what we are going to discuss and share with you will have a lot of implications on how we move forward as a country in terms of our democracy, in terms of peace, but also in terms of our important agenda of cohesion and integration. As you all recall, we had a successful campaign, which I will have to say all of you seated here as development partners contributed to it. That is the Election Bill and Norma campaign. It is something that ran for 2 years, and the culmination of it was the generally peaceful elections that Kenya had in August. We had trying moments during the elections, even before the elections, and even after the election results were announced. But the verdict at the end of all those events is that Kenya remained stable, peaceful, and our leaders and those who are in the competitive processes chose the path of the rule of law. Those who did not agree with the results went to the courts. The courts gave their verdict, and still Kenya moved forward, and we had our smooth transition where the former president had to hand over power to the president that was elected. So we did not sit immediately after that. We decided to say that now that we have a peaceful election, we have had a peaceful election, then we need also to think how we can consolidate the good things that we did during that election, and also what Kenya can do to ensure that we deepen the peace that exists in our communities and that we are able to secure. So today, we will be sharing with you our post-election analysis report 2022, which we commenced immediately after the elections. And I would like to say that report has gone through different phases in terms of consulting different groups and different segments of Kenya, and it covered many counties, as you will be told later. And the key thing from that report is you will be told what worked during the Election Bill and Norma campaign, the approaches and strategies that the Kenyan people connected with better, and the ones that they think we should be able to replicate going forward. So for those who are in the peace building community, there is a lot that you can learn from that report that will be able to inform what you are able to do going forward, especially in terms of our outreach activities with the communities. We had multiple strategies, but from the report, you will be able to see which ones were more effective and which ones we need to replicate going forward. Secondly, you will also be told in the report what Kenyans think about their state of cohesion and what is actually, to them, what it means to have a peaceful election. There's a very interesting narrative there, and I would like each one of you to pay attention to, because sometimes we talk about peaceful elections and then we assume everybody understands what we mean by that statement. So that's also another key thing. But I think the most important one is what are the recommendations that have come from that report that will inform how we do our work. It was carefully chosen because the post-election analysis report leads us to our roadmap towards deepening peace and cohesion for prosperity in Kenya. That is for the period 2022-2025. Those 3 years are not random because our current strategic plan as the National Cohesion and Integration Commission comes to an end in 2025. So I will say we are almost midway in terms of that process. So we chose that period of 2022 to 2025 because that is when our strategic plan is coming to an end. And most of the activities that we are recommending flow from and also build on what we did during the Election Bill and Norma campaign. in terms of the messages we took to the people, in terms of democracy, their role as citizens in elections, as well as the messages we took with them, with other stakeholders, in terms of being peaceful, being cohesive, and being united. So you will hear about our plans on building on election bill and norma, but also other expanded interventions, particularly in conflicts that are more or less been forgotten in Kenya, where we'll be giving special attention to the madness that is going on in the northern part of the country, where we intend to end all the conflicts in pastoral areas by changing the way we do business, and you'll be told about that. So I just would like to say it's a very important moment for NCIC, and of course, all our partners who participated in this process. I cannot single any one of you from all the development partners we had, the government of Kenya, the communities themselves, civil society, the media were on top of things this time. We had a campaign with a standard media group called Penda Jirani, Election Bill and Norma. We had town halls with the Nation Media Group where we were discussing about minimum Kenya, and all those things were supported by most of you directly and some of you indirectly, but all said and done, it could not have been done by NCIC alone, and that's why we are happy that you are able to come for this event, and we hope that once you get the report, you will be inspired more to know that there is no better partner in Kenya in terms of peace cohesion in Kenya than the National Cohesion and Integration Commission. And this time, we are saying AMANI kwa ground, which means peace from below. So let me end there and say that we look forward to implementing this program, and we are confident it can actually transform most of the conflicts in Kenya, but also deepen the culture of peacefulness, being decent to each other, and we look forward to partnering with you. Thank you very much.
Now, in case that sounds very ambitious, actually we do mean exactly what he has said, and we are purposed to do that. I had a privilege a couple of weeks ago to be in Maputo through EK's support at the 7th annual conference of African EMBs. There's about 42 countries represented there. And we're invited primarily because of course, we just had our election, and not just the world was watching. Of course, our good friends, neighbors, and brothers in Africa were all watching and part of it. And you know what is amazing was trying to explain to them, because one of the reasons I was there was trying to explain to them the process that we went through and why we had a peaceful election and the role we played as a commission, although we are not an EMB as such, but we were intimately connected and partnered with, of course, our sister commission, IPC, because of the stakes, and we know the history of our country. And what was so amazing was, I think, just listening, with them listening and really wanting to almost copy our playbook. And I said, another thing that is critical for us that we learned is what my fellow colleague has said, is the fact that we had all hands on deck. It was a team effort. It wasn't just one person. It wasn't one commission. That's why we have many government agencies in this place, because we work closely with the RPP, IPOA, KNHCR, our development partners, the EU, the Americans, the Brits. It was a team effort of everyone, and that's why we're here today. We hope that we can lay this foundation for progeny as we look forward. Now, the good thing with being in my place, you have some powers. I won't call them absolute, but they're almost absolute. There's nothing you can do about it. If I want to do something, I will do it. But I can use I'll be a benevolent dictator, for lack of a better word. So what I will do, I want to change this program, and if you have it in your table, just disregard it. I'm going to change it, because those are the powers that I have here. The powers accorded to me, okay? So I will change it as I see it fit. So you just follow me. Mtakuwa tu sawa tu. Good to see our good friends from Coach and Madhara is good friends of ours. Now, I would want to do this. I want us to see the report first, a summary of the report, abridged version if you would like. And Mheshimiwa Farah, who hails from a place in Kenya called Mandera East, has been very critical in this process as we developed this process. And I want him to, because he was a key cog in this development, before we invite Madam Millicent, who is the Director of Research, to show us the report so that now you can respond to it. It's good for you to see, understand it, digest it, synthesize it, then you can respond to it. That's why I'm appending that program as you see it. I want to take this opportunity to welcome my good friend, the Honorable Mheshimiwa Abdulaziz Farah, to please come tell us one or two things as Millicent and your team get ready to show us and walk us through the report. A good hand clap for Mheshimiwa Farah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Makori, Commissioner. I will ride on the Ukarabati protocol that you have set, and greet you all in the name of the Lord. Good morning. Mine is very simple. I'll just be introducing the subject matter that we're here for today. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, that this country has a very long history in terms of conflicts around elections. And specifically, since the advent of multipartyism in Kenya, that our elections were literally around, based around ethnicity. And most of the elections were not very good. The results were contested. People did not agree to the results. And so there were a long history of conflict around election and election results. The worst one being the one of 2007 general elections, which almost took this country to its knees. And NCIC, the commission that is hosting you here today, is born out of that 2007 election conflict. It's one of the babies that were born out of the resolution or the solving of that conflict of 2007. NCIC is part of the Agenda 4 mechanism that was supposed to drive the country out of that ugly scene. And us being a baby of election violence, this new commission, which is now 3 years old, when we came to office, we saw that we are having an election in 2022. And so our first assignment was to make sure that the election that was supposed to happen in 2022 had to be midwifed and was supposed to be a peaceful election. So we sat down and we thought, and we came up with a brilliant idea that everybody in Kenya and the world had bought the election Bill-a-Norma roadmap. Now, we had put the roadmap in place, but it had to be implemented. For it to be implemented, we called all of you here, and you became our partners in the implementation of the roadmap. Just to mention but a few. The Interreligious Council of Kenya, that is the religious group, UNDP, GIZ, EKES, National Police Service, the Judiciary, DPP, EACC, the business community, the youth, the women, political parties, the media, and many others. And so we implemented the roadmap. And the elections came, and the election was different from the previous ones. We had a very peaceful election. What I was telling my colleagues, the commissioners, the other time, that since I started voting, this was the most peaceful election I've ever seen. Maybe some happened before I started voting, but since I started voting myself, this was the best election I've ever seen. Now, NCIC then asked itself a question. What worked? What was the miracle? This time, what was different? What gave us a peaceful election? Was it because Kenyans were tired of violence? Or is it because the election narrative has been changed from ethnicity-based to issue-based? Was it because we were just out of the COVID-19 problem and we could not move a leg or a hand or something? We ask ourselves the question, what worked? Was it the work that we did together as the people who are seated here today? Was it that IEBC did better work? Then that is what we worked on, and we tried to find out what worked. And that's why this report is here today that will be launched. Right? So we didn't stop there. Then we went ahead and said, going forward, having known this, what do you do? Then we planned for the rest of our life in this commission. Going forward, the strategy 2022-2025, what we are calling AMANI ground, Commissioner Connor had mentioned. So ladies and gentlemen, that is what we are going to present to you today, and join us in reflecting on that report and deepening the peace and cohesion going forward. With those many, many remarks, I want to thank you all. You know, today a lady walked to my chair and greeted me. And you know, she told me, you know, Mheshimiwa, I'm Gedia. Gedia comes from Marsabit County. We had a very interesting story with her in Marsabit. She was a consultant helping us in peace process in Marsabit. And then one of our staff fell sick in the field. And that's what we undergo as commission. We go around the terrain of this country, very difficult ones. And so, you know, Gedia became a nurse to help us, our staff. We branded her night nurse. And then we had a day nurse, Rosemary, so Gedia, can you stand up? Thank you. She's one of our partners in peace work in Marsabit. So I also want to recognize